guys, welcome to Centum, and for today's episode I will be propagating and starting a ficus bonsai. Now we are in front of our house, and this is the bonsai that I'll be getting my material from, and it's quite tall now, and I'll just saw some of its branch. And here is our Ficus Microcarpa, also known as Ficus nana. It's getting big now, and I just have to reduce its size, and I'll be using some of its branches for propagation. So guys, we just finished getting our materials outside, and I have here my cuttings and materials that I will be using for my bonsai. And this one is called Ficus Microcarpa, also known as Ficus nana. They call this a money tree also. They believe that if you place this inside your house, it will be a lucky charm. This Ficus nana is quite easy to propagate because, as you could see, it has a lot of aerial roots, and even if you just cut a little of this, you could already propagate it. Now the other ficus that I cut is this one. This one is called Ficus Benjamina. This one is quite easy to propagate when it is small, but when the trunk is already this big, it can be challenging, but it is still possible. I took this cutting because I wanted to make a bonsai out of these materials, and same goes with the other one. So let's proceed with cutting the branches. So the first thing that I will do is to reduce the branches and the leaves. Because it's quite hard to grow this cutting if it has too many leaves, so you just have to reduce them. I will divide this branch because it's too long. we will be propagating this one. We'll try to propagate this. I think we could cut this. We could cut this branch here. So we have two. This one, I'll remove this one. I'll be removing the branches that are interlapping. We'll just clean this cutting with a different scissor. So this one will have to reduce the leaves. You don't need too many. But you have to make sure that you leave some also, because it can die if you remove all the leaves. So there we have 3. 1, 2, 3 cuttings. We'll plant this later. We will proceed now for the Ficus Microcarpa. This one. Before you cut it, you try to study first how you will cut it. Since this one is interlapping, I will remove this one. It's quite thick there. I'm removing this one just to reduce the leaves. This one is interlapping with this one, so I'll remove this. This one also. This one. You could put this on the soil and they will grow, even if it's too small. They are very easy to propagate. This one is too long. I'll remove this one. So this one will be my tree. It's like a Y position. So we have one, one. We could just propagate this and stick this in the soil. If if it's too long, you just have to divide them about 6 inches would be enough. Six or 6 to 12 inches. So let's proceed with potting them. So I got here a pot with a soil now. All I have to do is just stick the cutting in the middle. This one. I will plant it in a slanted position, like so. You could place rocks around it to make it more stable if you want. If in case it fall off, you could put stones here. Then for the other cuttings, I'll use these small pots. I'll just here. For the rest of the smaller cuttings, I'll just place them in a smaller pot, like so. And this one also. This is Ficus Benjamina. There. The next one is the Ficus Microcarpa or Ficus nana. I'll use this one, the biggest pot for the biggest cutting. Maybe I should remove some of the aerial roots. If it has aerial roots, it's easier to propagate them because this one will serve as a root for your plant. So even if they don't have roots here yet, they could get their nutrients from this one. Ficus are very common in tropical countries. That's why people living in Southeast Asia find it easier to grow ficus trees, while the people living in the colder areas, they tend to plant more of pine trees. There, you can see. Then we could also plant these smaller cuttings. We just need to get some pot and soil first. If you happen to find any pot that is no longer in use, you could simply reduce these lower leaves and just stick them there. This plant attracts a lot of aphids and insects, but they're quite strong. They don't die easily. Sometimes the aphids and the insects are seasonal. There are times that you cannot see them. Once it's rooted, you could already repot them in bigger pots. I used to buy one of these small Ficus nana. I didn't realize that we have a big tree outside of our house because it looks so different when it's small. I wasted my money. I didn't know we have one already. There. We still have some here. Let's try to find another pot. Just reduce the leaves in the lower part. Try to reduce the leaves here also. It's too tall. Don't waste your cuttings because you could always sell your propagation when it's bigger. You'll never know. Someone might need it and buy it from you. So there. So we have here the smaller cuttings of our Ficus Microcarpa or Ficus nana. And this is the bigger one. I'll make this into a bonsai. I think I need a rock. I need to place a rock on this so it won't fall off. And here are Ficus, our Ficus Benjamina. So there you have it, guys. We all have our cuttings that we have propagated, and I hope you've learned something from this episode. And if you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment below, and I hope to see you on the next episode. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.